Hey, Jerry. Oh, hey, Dan. What's going on, man?
Not much. What you reading?
The new Archie. Is that the new steel sterling?
Yeah, it is. It is indeed the new steel sterling. You can have your Archie. I'll take my steel sterling.
Archie's not bad, man. So what have you been up to? What are you doing? What are we doing tonight?
I mean, we could find some girls and go out on dates or something like that.
Yeah. What? Yeah. You know what we should do? We should play something tonight. Did you get any board games?
Yeah, I got Risk and Monopoly, and I wish we had some better board games.
Yeah, man. You know, someday when we have our own place, we're gonna have a whole shelf of board games, like just filled to the top. And then we're gonna get some sweet electric guitars and just hang them on the walls. It's gonna be awesome. That giant TV, you know? So when people come into our apartment, they're like, wow, look at all the stuff you guys have.
That's a beautiful dream, sir.
You and me, man. Like 5 years, that's gonna be our life. Lots of stuff, board games all the time. Oh, it's gonna be sweet, man. It's gonna be sweet.
Boardgasm. 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 Boardgasm.
So, you want to play Wits and Wagers this evening?
Not really.
Kingsburg to Forge a Realm is an expansion for the game Kingsburg. Still just 2 to 5 players, sadly, but it includes 5 separate modules which can be used one or completely all together to add a little bit more variety to the game. It really kind of expands on what Kingsburg offered and gives you more variety. The first module is bigger boards, which in and of itself, I mean, people probably would have paid just to get these boards, but thankfully it includes other modules. They are the same boards in the center, and then on the top and bottom they add some more to give you more variety. The second module is a set of alternative rows. These rows can be done in a draft style. You could shell out a few of them randomly. There's several different ways you can hand them out to the players, and they basically correspond to the rows that are on your sheet, but are a little bit different in subtle ways. Like they might focus more on a particular type of resource, or rather than focusing on resources for that row, they may allow you to get more points. And they're just different enough to add even more variety in addition to the new rows that are already on the sheets. The third module is what's called the Governor cards, and these are almost, they might as well be called character cards, I think, because each one has a different character, like the princess, or the miner, or the minstrel, and each one allows you to do certain things during the game. They might allow you to trade a resource for another resource. They might be like, at the start of every year you're allowed to do something different, and it'll say right on the card, or like the damsel at the beginning of every year receive 1 +2 token. The Duke, in every productive season, after all influence dice have been placed, if no one has influenced the Duchess, number 12 on the board, you may move your highest group of dice from their current advisor to the Duchess, regardless of their value. And just little things like that, which kind of can influence how you're going to play the game. So like, you know, normally you may play one way, but all of a sudden you have a card that allows you to like trade in stone for gold, and so now you may focus on getting a lot of stone because you can purchase things that involve a lot of gold. The fourth module is called the Destiny cards, and essentially you shuffle them at the start of the game, and at the beginning of every year you draw one and something happens. They're just event cards. So, striking workers, the cost of all buildings is increased by 1 gold. Okay. No mercy, the award to the player with the highest combat value in battle is now 2 points instead of 1. And that's all they do. There is a couple cards in here that can actually end the game early, which is kind of interesting. But other than that, they all share a different theme in that something happens, or resources are affected, or you can no longer choose these particular spots on the board, things like that. And then the fifth module is called Soldier Tokens, and there are a set of tokens for every color of player, and they are numbered 0 up to 3, and at the end of every year, instead of rolling the dice to see how many soldiers the king is going to send you, you all pick a token, put it in your hand, and then hold it out. On the count of 3, everyone reveals that's how many soldiers they're going to get. My mistake, 0 to 4. So once you use a token, it actually is removed from the game. So rather than relying on the luck of the dice, you actually need to choose, okay, am I going to use this many? Oh damn, I have absolutely no soldiers this year. I'm going to go with 4. So knowing what's on that card becomes way more important. Whatever token you have left, and there will be 1 left, that's why there's more than there are years, you will actually get that many points. So you could choose the 4 soldier token to hang on to, but what if you really needed it 1 year? You kind of have to do a give and take on it. Victory condition is still the same. Whoever has the most points after 5 years is the winner.
Okay, cool. Hi, and welcome to the component breakdown for the Kingsburg expansion to Forge a Realm. This is a game we took a look at years ago. Actually, we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary of Boardgasm, and this was our first. We took a look at the board. Awesome artwork, still awesome artwork, and the expansion continues that. Overall, the pieces of the game, obviously we're not talking huge, heavy stock here, but it's good. It's good quality. It's good artwork. It's well put together. And this particular expansion adds the strips and the full boards with a couple additional things. It's just a nice little, component game. Some more things to make it interesting. And the characters have just gotten better. Really, the artwork is just so much more magical. I have the schemer. The schemer, he looks old and creepy. I think he's touching himself sexually, but I can't be sure. His hand's inside of his robe. That's happening. There's the schemer, and then there's the Duke. This fat man, the Duke. Look at his life of luxury. Back here, everybody's starving to death, and the Duke is eating 9 chickens a night. He is quite... the fairy, she looks bald from what I can see. I mean, she is quite busty. She is quite the busty fairy, but her face kind of looks like it's been Botoxed out of its mind. The preacher, if this isn't social commentary, I don't know what is. The preacher, it looks so terrifying. Look at him. Would you invite that guy into your house for coffee? No. Like, you would call the police on that man. And then finally, I like the carpenter because I think he's what I would look like in board game format. Crappy mustache. He's wearing an ugly shirt. He's holding a hammer. He's got blonde hair. So component-wise, the game really takes care of it. The nice little cards are everything adds a nice little addition. It adds different variations, and you can adopt some of the components in. And you can choose which ones you would like to do and which ones you wouldn't. I mean, it's not earth-shaking. It doesn't change Kingsburg that much, really. But it does add some nice extras. And for the purchase price, it's definitely worth it for all the extra things you get and the little additions. So, Kingsburg to Forge a Realm expansion, awesome. And that's component breakdown with me, Jerry. Kingsburg, gotta play that Kingsburg. Fried wonton Kingsburg with a little side of rice. Kingsburg, gotta play that Kingsburg. Gotta play that Kingsburg. Gotta play that Kingsburg, that Kingsburg, that Kingsburg, that Kingsburg. Fried wonton Kingsburg. Set of cream cheese Kingsburg. Holiday now Kingsburg. Kingsburg. Gotta be that Kingsburg. Gotta be that Kingsburg. Gotta be that Kingsburg. That Kingsburg. That Kingsburg. That Kingsburg. That Kingsburg. Gotta be that Kingsburg. Gotta be that Kingsburg. Gotta sit down, 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 gotta sit and play.
That was good.
Alright, good. Kingsburg expansion.
Yep. To Forge a Realm.
The Forge
The
Around.
expansion for Kingsburg.
To me, this really comes full circle because this was the first review we ever did just a little bit less than 3 years ago when we were out in Los Angeles.
That's true.
Yeah. So this is this for us. This expansion means a lot because Kingsburg was our start, and it's still the most popular video we have on YouTube. We get a lot of comments still on it and a lot of emails about it. So
Do the expansion.
Do the expansion.
Okay.
for years, do the expansion. Well, we did the expansion.
I mean, given it took some time to get the expansion, so
That's
I feel we're allowed that, America.
That's true. We even got a nice letter from the designer who liked the
That's true.
review. He liked our Kingsburg review.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, good, good.
But that's another story for another time.
Yeah. Oh, that was
So what do you think of the game, sir?
Overall, Kingsburg to Forge a Realm expansion. It's a good expansion. It adds some new elements. It doesn't change the overall feel of the game. It just adds some things which really supplement it. And I think that's awesome. They don't mess with the formula too much. They don't need to. Kingsburg's a solid game. I mean, we gave it great reviews. I believe it 8 and 9 when we originally did it.
I gave it a 9.
And it doesn't change it much, and that's fantastic. It's a great game, but it adds new elements to make it fresh, and it does make it more fun. You can break out the game, you can break out the expansion, and the expansion adds just enough that it gives it pretty great replayability. So overall, I give the expansion an 8 out of 10 because it's a very solid one, but it's not earth-shaking. It doesn't introduce crazy new elements. It just gives me more of the same excellence. So that, to me, deserves the same rating it got before, which is an 8 out of 10. So, Kingsburg, 8 out of 10. Expansion, 8 out of 10. Everybody gets an 8 out of 10.
Everybody, 8 out of 10.
It's a B. Yeah!
To Forge a Realm, to me, is a rarity in that most games that I have expansions for, I consider as good as the game. But it doesn't necessarily bring it higher for me, and there's a few I've got that actually bring it lower, but that's for another video. To Forge a Realm, to me, though, is that rarity, and I gave Kingsburg a 9 out of 10, and I stand by this as my own personal feeling. To Forge a Realm, to me, brings Kingsburg up to a 10 out of 10. It adds just enough variety that I will never, ever get tired of it, and have not yet, and we have played the hell out of this thing. Whereas with Kingsburg, I mean, it deserves a 9 out of 10, but after 100 or so games, I just get tired of it. Which, I mean, is a big statement as it is, because most people will never play any of their games 100 times. But with To Forge a Realm, I'm pretty sure it's the only expansion I rate a 10 out of a 10. And I stand by that. I think Kingsburg with To Forge a Realm is one of the best games I've ever played. So, 10 out of 10.
That's fair. And that wraps up the Kingsburg series until they release another expansion.
God willing.
God willing, at this point. Yeah, we would like another expansion, Kingsburg, if you're listening to this. Make one for us. Just go ahead.
Just for us.
Just for us.
Yeah, just
Make us characters, please. I would love to be a Kingsburg character.
Yeah.
Make me all sleazy looking with sunken eyes and I'm holding some sort of scepter. Like, yeah.
Jerry Arlen, the creepy rapist. And on that, we end.
That is the expansion of Kingsburg. So 3 years, coming full circle doing this. It's fantastic, and we still love doing Boardgasm. We love you, America.
We do. Good night, America.